Can it go down here? Can it go here? And off we go here at Doug Mitchell Thunderbird Sports Center. Your 10-0 UBC Thunderbirds off to a triumphant start. Their best start in program history, of course, this season, looking to build upon the narrative. The opponent coming in tonight wearing that maroon and white, the MacEwan Griffins. And if you're head coach Graham Thomas, Andrew, and you look at this season overall, of course, having that tough, heartbreaking loss at Nationals last year, coming as the 6th seed after that tough loss in the Canada West Finals in Alberta. A little bit of transition with a few big players moving out, but this team looking right in form.
Yeah, they are looking poised to go on another run. A 10-0 start, like we said, their hottest start in program history, considering, you know, the amount of success they've had over the past few years, never having a 10-0 start, off to the races. But there's just something about this UBC team that, they need to get it done at the big stage. And it's going to be a tough battle against, you know, even a small program like Graham MacEwan that's just like entering into the Canada West. They're going to take it to this UBC team, and they need to make sure that they show their muscles and show their poise in what is going to be another, they're hoping, national championship run.
Shot from the point there from Meadow Carmen, swallowed by Taya Curry, coming in, a transfer from Providence College. Some NCAA hockey for her, of course, got injured in her first season due to a knee injury. What we're talking about pregame is right in the slot. Curry already busy. Highly touted, actually, the first ever OHL draft selection, female to be selected into the OHL draft a couple years back. This is a highly touted pickup for head coach Chris Leeming.
Yeah, this is a massive addition for this Grant MacEwan team that, you know, really builds itself around the defense and around the goaltending, and to pick up Taya Curry, who has been phenomenal for them this season and is really, really proven that she is one of those top prospects, one of the best goalies in all of the country. And in 6 games played so far, 1-3-2 record. It's tough to, you know, when this Grant MacEwan team needs to get some production for their great goaltending and defense on the back end, with a 2.29 goals against average, a .922 save percentage with a shutout as well. They're just needing to get some production on the front end to bring it all together.
Curry going to be tested tonight. Big part of that is that wrister barely misses wide off the stick of Kaylee Pepler. Formidable offense for UBC, a strong defensive core. And it's the rookie trio. You were talking about it in the pregame show. Zinger, Lorenz, and Church. You've been impressed with them so far this year. Yeah, they're definitely filling in their roles perfectly for this UBC team and have really looked calm, haven't looked out of place at all, fitting into this team. And yeah, they're really playing their part, especially on the back end. And, you know, what was, you know, maybe a question mark coming into this season for UBC. How would they perform? How would they kind of hold up with some of these powerhouses of the Canada West? And yeah, they have really looked solid for this UBC team. You know, Presley Zinger, who's really looked offensively very strong as well. And then Audrey Church, who's starting to really fill in, and Al Lorenz, who's been solid defensively. Speaking up there, Zinger. Curry to play. The Griffins struggling to get it out of their zone. Haven't been able to get it much past center ice in the early moments here of the first period. Looking to play upset here in early season Canada West matchup against UBC, who's on the hunt for another championship berth. Dumped in by Brown. Few Griffins off for a line change. This Griffins team, a little bit of a score by committee approach, looking to get contributions from whoever they can. The only team to hold UBC, like you said, Andrew, to just 1 goal in a game this season. So looking to reach deep in their bag of tricks tonight. And it's not an easy thing to do against this UBC powerhouse of an offense as we see it on display right now. The amount of shots that this Thunderbird team gets on goaltenders and offenses wears them down throughout a game, and
for them to only give up one in that first matchup, it's really impressive. They just need to get some scoring.
Long to Elliott there. That connection was big in that comeback win over Manitoba, and Grace Elliott on her hunt for her 62nd goal for Canada West career. Parked in front, that's where she makes her name. Lorenz trying to keep it in. Griffins are going to get it out. Dumped right in. First shot on goal. Not sure it's going to count as on goal as it was going wide, but for the Griffins, able to clear the zone and get it up the ice.
And Elise Huygens with that stop there. Looking to see some action this evening as she hunts for the tying win in Canada West history so far this season in a 50-50 timeshare with Maya Lucifora. 5 games played this season, 5-0 record with a 0.60 goals against average and a .955 save percentage with 3 shutouts.
Here in on the break, Mia Baird. She scores. Mia Baird taps it to herself and goes in solo styles and finishes it off. And all of a sudden, Andrew, an early lead for the Thunderbirds.
Yeah, Mia Baird with goals in back-to-back weekends. Has got one last weekend against the Bisons and gets her 2nd of the season on a great rush up the right side. Showed that speed off, beat the Griffins defender, and a great finish on the breakaway, beating Curry, beating the 5-hole there, and a hot start for UBC here in the first period.
That's what head coach Graham Thomas is looking for. Strike first, strike early and often. A seemingly harmless play at the blue line, but she tips it to herself. Burst of speed, able to go in on the breakaway, and she knows exactly where to bury that one.
And that UBC penalty kill going to work once again as their top goal scorer sits in the box, now matching their power play goals tally once again. 5 shorthanded goals on the season, the most in the Canada West. An extremely impressive penalty kill here for Graham Thomas. Top in Canada West, killing off 92.2% of their penalties.
Great penalty kill unit, but of course, for Graham Thomas, doesn't want to be tops in Canada West, let alone all of Canada in penalty minutes. So something to fix up as this team inches towards the end of the year. For the Griffins, this is what they need, a chance to respond. There's about 30 seconds left in the power play. Haven't been able to get set up.
It's almost as if the Griffins didn't really know what hit them on that Mia Baird opportunity, just right off the face-off, getting right to it, and just haven't really been able to respond on this power play and get it set up.
Here's Thorpe back, jockeying into the forward court tonight. Tipped in by Sandilands. Elliott back on the ice. Grace Elliott, a hat trick a couple weeks back against Regina Wong. Banned on that one, but regained by the Thunderbirds. Clapped in from the point. Curry busy already early tonight. Looks like she's brought her A game, trying to keep her team in it. Already 8 shots on goal for UBC, not even at the halfway mark of the first period. UBC first in the conference in shots per game, second in all of Canada. This offense can get going. Great forecheck here from UBC. Long trying to center it, but the Griffins just trying to clear. Shaver gets it in, and that's someone who I think needs to be talked about a little bit more. Vanessa Shaver jumping into this line as Elliott gets in the slot. That one's going to draw a face-off, but Vanessa Schaefer bringing a really nice look to that top forward trio of Wong, Schaefer, and Elliott.
Yeah, she's really been a good level-headed center between Elliott and Wong, as you know, those two really going to work in the offensive zone. We see a lot of the time, and just a really good balance between those two. Some really great skill, some really great speed.
Nice save by Curry off the draw, getting close to 10 shots on goal. But like you said, Schaefer, all rookie team Canada West last year, and it's the next player up mentality. Bassi, Kordic leaving this team last year. Now Schaefer getting some more minutes and trusted with a lot of playing time.
Yeah, and a great 5-on-5 player as well. All 8 of her points so far this season coming 5-on-5. So someone that's really has really stepped up for Graham Thomas on a regular basis.
Baird back in the ice, looking to do more damage. Mia Baird alongside Maya Healy, Olivia Buckley. Great energy from this forward trio. Tight in the forecheck, always in the mix. Back to the point. Morris blocked in front. Three players on the forecheck up for UBC, making it difficult for the Griffins. Can't muster much offense so far. That one's going to get called back offside. Getting close to the halfway mark of the first period. No shots on goal so far for the Griffins due to that one attempt from outside going wide for Huygens. These games can be dangerous. I played a very low level of hockey once upon a time. I was a goaltender myself, but I always found you'd rather be active and warm rather than cold and waiting for that first shot on goal.
Yeah, definitely. I'm sure Huygens is hoping for a little bit more action as the Griffins get it in their zone. But yeah, it's still just a one-goal game here. Griffins can easily get this game tied up with one shot. And yeah, just have to get it going a little bit. We've seen even on the other side, UBC have some slow starts here in Canada West, especially on the road. Can be a little bit slow to get going. And this UBC team, who's been home for 2 weeks now, are well rested and prepared. So I'm sure the Griffins are going to want to get their game going here.
Their best offensive possession of the game thus far. Griffins, great job to keep it in the zone. Shot was just blocked in front, and here come the Thunderbirds. Thorpe going to tip it to herself. Sandilands back to the point for Church. UBC still on it. Church, that one spills out. Going to have to reset here. Dumped back in by Lorenz. Sandilands back to Church. Lorenz. Clapper from the point. That one, I'll tell you what, Taya Curry really calm in the crease. You could see that comfort level that made her a draft pick in the OHL. And you know what? Still young in her U Sports career. She's going to be a building block.
Yeah, she is definitely going to be a piece for this Griffins team. And 10 shots already faced. And some good scoring chances so far for UBC. So could definitely be more than one here. But Taya Curry keeping her team in this one so far. Looks sharp, looks solid. And she's going to continue to be making great saves for her team all game.
Sandilands looking for a centering high speed wraparound. Sandilands, how did that one stay out? Looks like Curry might have scrambled back just in the nick of time. I thought Crean was going to bury that one.
Yeah, that was a great move there by 14 on UBC. And Sandilands makes a great move. Almost fakes out Curry on that short side. Tries to go all the way around. And yeah, not sure how that one stayed out. I believe Curry just getting a pad on that one, stretching out.
Nice tip in front by Wong. Off the pass from Elliott, and Elliott going to work behind the net, but the Griffins chance to keep it up and out. It's going to go the length of the ice for icing. Patterson was there. Griffins chance to get a face-off, win it back, maybe a shot from the point. Trying to muster whatever offense they can, still very much in this game.
Yeah, still very early in the hockey game. As, yeah, need to get some of your big players to step up a little bit and create some momentum. Claire Hobbs, one of their top goal scorers, out of the lineup tonight. We'll be looking for some of their younger players. Megan Dolinchuk, who's didn't play any games last year, but her first year this year for the Griffins, leading the team in points, can definitely move and has some great skill in the offensive zone.
Santos trying to get that one deep. Quickly on that was Zinger. Short and Howe's the D pairing for this Griffin squad right now. Santos, a little quick step. Meadow Carmen trying to get it out. She can't. Blocked in front by Healy. The Griffins just trying to string together a minute or two of offensive pressure. UBC making it difficult with that trademark forecheck that they've been known for. Nice pinch from Church, keeping it up. And for UBC, despite controlling this game, still can't get complacent, of course. Complacency, if it comes in, all of a sudden Griffins get a quick one. Have to be careful.
Yeah, it's been one of this UBC team's almost weaknesses, as
there's going to be a penalty coming up there. We'll see what the exact call is, but UBC centering ice feed doesn't quite go. Griffins going to be sent to the box. First power play opportunity for UBC tonight, as Eiley, number 74, takes the infraction, and crucial potential turning point of this game. You don't often call it in the first period, but when the shot margin is so in favor of one team, you get the sense could be a backbreaking goal if it goes in.
Yeah, and UBC's power play needs to get going a little bit. So far as we see, a little different look here for UBC now with Zinger and Morris at the top of the zone there, looking to shake some things up.
Zinger whipped that one to the net, blocked, but they're going to regain it. Over to Morris. Like this look of Morris, who started the season pretty hot from the blue line. Her and Zinger, that's a nice pairing. Morris to Wong. Elliott, one time in front, and there it is. Grace Elliott moves into...
The officials waved it off.
Oh, did you see what that might have hit?
The post, possibly.
Possibly.
Or the bar.
I thought I saw the bottle go.
Yeah.
Excuse me. As Curry swallows that up. I'm going to need to see the replay on that one.
Yeah, that is... Wow, I cannot believe that one.
Was that just me missing it, or do you think it was in too?
No, the whole UBC 5 on the line, on the ice, thought that was a goal. As I think the officials are going to talk this one over. That one may have been in and out very quickly, hitting the netting, because I don't think we heard any iron in this arena. And no, your reaction was not wrong there. all the UBC players as well thought it was a goal. Elliott thought it was a goal. Wong thought it was a goal.
And a beautiful shot off the release. Wong to Elliott, the way they've done for the past 5 years. And you know what? We're all eager for a little bit of history. Don't want to jump the gun, but thought that was a snipe into the top shelf. And indeed it is. Congratulations to Grace Elliott, passing Tatiana Rafter, her 62nd Canada West goal, first all-time in program history, and 7th all-time sole possession in Canada West history. What a moment, Andrew.
Yeah, a little anticlimactic there, but on what was a beautiful play from the UBC power play. There we go, finally. a very good-looking power play for UBC as they capitalize on that between Morris, Wong, and Elliott on that left side there. Wong able to find Elliott in that slot position, and a great one-timer past Curry, beating that glove side. And yeah, it was a laser in and out of the net, hit the netting, and bounced right out. But yeah, it was pretty clear, I'd say, that one went in. As yeah, Grace Elliott with her 11th of the season, and yeah, break 62nd of her career, breaking the program record, extending her point streak to 6 games now with 8 goals in that span. Just incredible from the UBC number 26.
As we'll let the PA take it away, all the fans in attendance here witnessing a little piece of history. Grace Elliott really coming alive in the past couple years of her U Sports career, coming in that power forward frame, but able to do a little bit of everything. And at this point, there's only one other piece of hardware that she wants, and it's a national championship.
Yeah, all the accolades I'm sure she would trade away for a U Sports national championship. But yeah, Grace Elliott with a record-breaking season last year with 42 points, passing Tatiana Rafter as well for that single season points record. So Grace Elliott and Tatiana Rafter definitely joined together in UBC history. And yeah, what was a historic goal for this UBC team. And as well, you mentioned it before the power play, a bit of a back-breaking goal for the Grant MacEwan Griffins, taking that penalty. And yeah, what is now a pretty good-looking UBC power play, if that's what it is going to look like, with Morris and Zinger at the top of the zone there.
And I think you pointed it out, but we'll see the opportunity here for UBC. That one's going to go over the net, but coming in, you made a great analysis about moving Wong off the point on that power play. I believe it was Morris, and was it Zinger or Lorenz?
No, it was Zinger and Morris, the top of the zone there, looking more like an overload instead of, usually they had a bit of a 1-3-1 look to their power play with Wong at the top there. But yeah, moving her to that bumper position where she can make plays to Grace Elliott in the middle of the ice there as well, giving her power play a threat from the top of the zone from Morris and Zinger to shoot, just draws those forwards out a little bit, and you saw right there, open the middle of the ice for Grace Elliott to fire away.
There you have it, folks. Rapid fire analysis from Andrew Lote. That was the scouting report, and it paid off for UBC. Up 2-0 with less than 5 minutes here in the first period. They're threatening once more. Like we said, Grace Elliott, 8 goals in her past 6 games. Entering tonight across the nation, she was tied with Avery Kant at St. Mary's and Brooke Henderson of PEI. They both came in all with 9 goals apiece, and now Grace Elliott inching ahead.
And yeah, UBC adding the shots on there in that power play, continuing to test Taya Curry, as Grant MacEwan with 1 shot on net so far in this first period. Just seems that they have not been able to wake up and match the intensity and match the speed of UBC so far in this game. We saw it in that first matchup between these two teams in that tight battle. These teams going on October 3rd and 4th earlier this season, 1-0 and 3-1 between these two teams. So the Griffins know that they can stay with this UBC team, but it has been a tough first period, and they cannot let it get away from them.
Another shot on goal, dangerously batted around for a moment. Zinger's going to keep it alive. A couple players having to be separated for a moment as Eiley was fighting on that puck battle. It's going to be brought out the zone, it looks like. With the Griffins, obviously a lot of hockey as it's brought back into the zone. A lot of hockey left to go, but heading into the first period, it all comes down to some fundamentals, but also good habits. Can they string together a couple good minutes, a couple good rushes, and try and have an opportunity to get back into this game?
Yeah, and it's going to have to come with some pressure. They're going to have to try and pressure this UBC team. We've seen them try to make some physical plays and get under the skin of UBC a little bit, but you got to try and make these board battles a little bit tougher, win some of those races to the pucks. Like you said, just those little good habits that should turn out into good things.
And on the break here are the Griffins, and the best save, I believe it's the second save of the game for Huggins. And on the backhand side, no rebound. And that's been so key for Huggins, who leads all of the nation in save percentage this year, preventing second chance opportunities. And a nice sneaky rush for MacEwan.
And Ella Maternik with a good-looking rush there. Did have Dolinchuk on the left side there, but Maternik going to her backhand there. Had the opportunity to get it on her forehand, but a good, strong backhand that forces Huggins to make a stop there.
This is what the doctor ordered we were talking about. Can the Griffins press a little bit towards the end of the first period? Doesn't necessarily need to end up in a goal, but can they go into the second with just a little bit of momentum?
Yeah, gain some confidence in your game. Kind of show some chinks in the armor for this UBC team, so to say. And yeah, you need to find some ways to go into the dressing room just to give yourself a little confidence and momentum. And yeah, come out for a good second period. We've seen this UBC team come out with some strong starts and then maybe take their foot off the gas a little bit in the second period. And this Griffins team is going to be hungry to come out in the second period as well. Need to have a much better first 10 minutes though.
Wong. Thought that one might have been called icing, but Wong, a little burst of speed. Morris to play it. Patterson fighting for it. Wong up to Elliott. Going to go off for a change, it looks like. Griffin's about 2 minutes and change to try and get an opportunity. So UBC enters the zone, setting up that formation as they always do. Really wearing teams down with their ability to cycle it around. Even though it's 5-on-5, they have that extra step. And almost open in front was Thorpe. Fleming's back there with Thorpe. Looking in front of the centering ice feed to Rhodes, doesn't find her. .90 seconds left in this first period. Griffins trying not to allow another one. Right now, still within reach to get back in this one, but a 3-0 deficit would certainly be demoralizing.
And need to make sure that they get the next one. And yeah, we've seen this. Yeah, this UBC team kind of have this inability to put some games away.
Batted around in front, multiple saves. Curry standing tall, sneaking in. Sandilands and a couple of her line mates making things difficult in the last minute of play of this first period. UBC relentless on the attack. Here's Zinger. Carmen, shot from the point, that's blocked in front. It's going to spill out. Griffins trying to get a change. They get one. And here's Sandilands. So good at maintaining possession in the zone. Zinger in deep to Sandilands. Perrier taking her time. Working the point to Carmen. Carmen throws it on net. That one bounces wide. Madison Weeb's up there too. Griffins just trying to outskate UBC. Tired legs for MacEwan. They're going to take it into the boards and just hope for the best as the first period's going to expire here. Goals from Mia Baird in the 62nd goal of her U Sports career for Grace Elliott. Andrew, heading into the second, what does MacEwan have to build upon? Showed a little bit of late life, but it's not going to be enough.
Yeah, they need to try and get more pucks in the offensive zone, get some pucks in deep, get a forecheck going. it is really tough against this UBC team that seems to be winning those races to the puck battles, winning the puck battles, and then just able to really get you chasing around the offensive zone, and that really turns into a bit of a spiral for a lot of teams. But this Griffins team cannot fall into that. Need to continue to play their strong defensive game and keep the Griffins, keep UBC to the outside, and try to attack on the counter strike and really try to limit those shots. And we noticed this UBC team, the amount of shots that they have, but as well just under 3 goals per game. So a little inability to kind of run up the score and run away with it. So this Griffins team can stay with this UBC team, but cannot wait too long.
About 15 minutes of intermission here. It's a 2-0 lead for the UBC Thunderbirds over the visiting MacEwan Griffins. We'll catch you on the flip side. Andrew Lote on the call alongside Andrew Savory. You're watching Canada West TV. Don't go anywhere. We'll see you shortly.
Welcome UBC to Homecoming 2025. Let's get stuck in.
fakes a handoff. David Jordan spills the ball. It's picked up. We could have a scoop and score, but tackled on the 1 yard line. Viato's going to sneak it. He's in. Touchdown Thunderbirds. Drew Viato with the 2-yard touchdown plunge. UBC jumps out to a 6-0 lead. So Viato takes the snap. This time, handoff. Ayadegbe, nice run by Ayadegbe. He's got some space. He finds the sideline. Ayadegbe takes this one all the way down inside the Calgary 10-yard line. So Viato in the shotgun for the Birds. Ayadegbe in the backfield with him. They're going to go to Ayadegbe again. He's pushing his way. He's getting close. Touchdown! House call. Tolu Ayadegbe. UBC has tied this one up at 13. Jordan takes a snap, drops back. Here comes a pass rush. That's a big sack by MacEwan Griffins. 3rd and goal. Huge play here for UBC. Ayadegbe, he's going to lunge forward. Did he get in? He did! Touchdown, Torilu Ayadegbe! 2 minutes, 11 seconds left. UBC down by 2, and Lannery Fleck is going to kick this one off, and there's no one over on that side of the field, and it gets by Lupel, and he's going to be tackled. I think he fell on that ball, but it's going to be all the way down on the Calgary 1 yard line. UBC defense called on here. Jordan. Oh, finds the time and picked off! That pass is picked off! Number 38, Darian Brown, continues to sprinkle his stardust all over homecoming at Thunderbird Stadium. Lannery Fleck lines this one up from 17 yards. Nice work by Angle to bring the snap down. It is up and it is good. UBC with a 1-point lead. 3.2 seconds left on the clock. Vince Triambari is going to come on the field for the Dinos and look to send the UBC Thunderbirds to the Heartbreak Hotel. He's going to line this one up from about the 39-yard line. The snap is there, the kick is up, and it is wide! It's wide right! UBC is going to run this one out of the end zone, and UBC is going to win the game! What a game of football! UBC with the huge homecoming victory! Listen to this crowd! Pandemonium at Thunderbird Stadium!
For 60 years, this game has defined Canadian university football. A tradition rooted in heart, grit, and pride. This year, the Vanier Cup returns to the West, to the heartland of football. Regina is ready. Let's show them how we do football. More than a game, it's tradition.
Closing moments of the first intermission here at Doug Mitchell, Thunderbird Sports Center. Andrew Lote on the call alongside Andrew Savory. And you know what, Andrew? It was a lot of fun in that first period, calling a little bit of history. A shot so hard out of the hands of Grace Elliott that even the officials didn't quite see it go in, but you know what? You'd expect nothing less from the triumphant career of Elliott, who's known for being parked in the slot, and she knows exactly what to do with that one.
Yeah, it was a great play drawn up by the UBC power play that we've been talking about for weeks now that's needed to get going, and just that little bit of a switch in formation and look could really do it for this UBC team. And yeah, on the tail end of that great play was a Grace Elliott historic goal. It was a great play. Once again, a feed from Annalise Wong, who those two just keep on matching each other, as Wong now with her 11th assist on the season, extending her point streak to 4 games, and as well Grace Elliott, yeah, with her 11th of the season, 62nd of her career. And yeah, it was a great play to extend UBC's lead to 2, but you know, this UBC team kind of down in average for goals from their past years, and just under 3 goals per game. Need to kind of get it going in the second and third period and try to pull away from this Griffins team that, you know, got to expect that they are going to be come out in this second period pushing and ready to go.
Griffins still hanging around. They have a tendency to be outshot, but they have a history of having some stellar goaltending. Tested 16 times was Taya Curry, allowing 2 of those, but you can't blame her. A point-blank one-timer from Elliott and a breakaway rush from Mia Baird. And it was a nifty play, kind of tapping that outlet pass to herself, burst of speed. But for the Griffins, going to look to their forward core, maybe a contribution from the defensive end. Of course, Dolanchuk coming in, leading this team in scoring. Like you said, a non-factor a little bit last year, but this year, could she be someone they look to tonight to maybe get one on the board?
Yeah, definitely as well. And another addition for this Griffins team, scoring last weekend in Jordan Brown, who's looking to get some goals from the defensive end as well. Like you said, at the front and on the back end for this Griffins team, they need to get contributions up and down the lineup, as we're going to get some penalties to start out this second period.
Elliott has already headed to the box once early in the first period. A couple bodies getting tied up, and Elliott going to be the lone skater going. That's her second penalty of the game, and UBC, bit of a reputation sometimes of being their own worst enemy. If I'm head coach Chris Leeming for the Griffins, this is the time to strike. Can you punch first in this second period and really shock the system of these Thunderbirds?
And another way right there for the Griffins to get back into this game is get this UBC team to take penalties first in the Canada West, with averaging just over 14 penalty minutes per game. You know, on average, if you're going to give a team 7 opportunities on the power play, they're going to get a couple goals. So it is critical for this Griffins team to execute on these power plays.
Olsen, clapper from the point. That one goes wide. Nifty play to get it back in front. UBC to recover. Olsen tried to bat that one down, but it's going to go out. The 5th-year defenseman, captain for this Griffins team. There's Baird on the forward check. Malenfant, cross-ice feed. Tipped in. She's going to go off for a change. Griffins with a little bit of pressure. Can they get under the skin of this Thunderbirds team a little bit? Saw some contact there. Arm doesn't go up. Thorpe was looking for it, but Griffins. Howe's on the far side. She's got some space. Hugan steers it aside. Griffins, great pressure here. Santos fights for it. UBC can't quite get it out. Here's Santos. Clobbered in front as she couldn't get it on goal. Kept in still by MacEwan. Healy's back checking. Thorpe deflects it for a second. And here's Carmen. Might have had Perry on the far side, but instead looks for the change.
And the body being thrown a little bit between these two teams as two Canada West Division rivals. The second meeting between these two teams. They'll play 6 games against each other the third of those 6. So there's going to be a lot of minutes played against each other, a lot of battles between these two teams, and we already see it in the second period here.
You obviously want the game to stay clean, but you can imagine in the scouting report that everyone says this UBC team does have a tendency to take penalties. You can get under their skin, maybe get some of those infractions, hits to the head, a charge here or there, a cross check. Get yourself to the power play and back in the game. And for Grant MacEwan, now's the time, your season coming with a 2-8 record. You need to try and potentially, if you can, split this weekend series.
And with 4 weeks until the winter break, until that, so to speak, halfway point, maybe a little bit past it, but yeah, it is crunch time for all the teams in the Canada West. Kind of the big stretch here to that winter break, and then you gotta really push the pedal to the floor once you come back in January.
Morris tipped in front. That one dangerously kicked back out by Curry. No Thunderbird was there to pick up the rebound, but Morris just has to slide it back over. And here come the Griffins. They'll get a change. Morris quickly up for Elliott, who's going to tap it in. Back on the ice, Grace Elliott. Lorenz maintains possession and whips it back. A little bit of forechecking pressure from MacEwan. Kept in by the Griffins. Calmly taken away by Healy. Look at her go. Maya Healy might have the step here. Maya Healy trying to charge the net. Takes out Taya Curry. Just a hard-nosed play from Healy. You can see the steam behind her. She skated up the ice. Dangerous opportunity for UBC.
Yeah, it was Robin Short that was trying to stay with her. And Maya Healy, one of the fastest skaters on this UBC team, but a great job by the veteran Griffins defender there, staying with her, making sure to try and cut as much of that angle off towards Curry. And it looks like Curry really got the worst of that one as, yeah, Healy going barreling into Curry, trying to hammer that one home, but some great D from Short and a stop from Curry, denying that Healy chance.
Short, great job not to let Healy get it to her backhand side as that one's centered in front. Here's Healy, another chance. That one goes wide. So it's going to be kept in still by UBC. Baird. This tough-to-handle line, Olivia Buckley, Maya Healy, Mia Baird. They may not have the goal totals to rival some of the other units, but you have to be as careful with them as you are any of the other lines for UBC.
I mean, 3 fifth years on that line. The experience added up there is really what makes them the most dangerous. They've played in all types of situations for head coach Graham Thomas, and those three really have played a lot of time together throughout their 5 years. So, yeah, I'm not surprised that they are excelling the way they are this season.
There's Zinger back, trying to get over center ice. And here come the Griffins. Snapped right into the breadbasket, swallowed up by Elise Huggins. A rare turnover from UBC in their own zone turns into a great opportunity for MacEwan as threatening in the second period. Looking to get back as Cheknita fired it right into the chest of Huggins.
And that's all it takes if you're the Griffins. Can take one shot there is Aspen Cheknita. It's a good look towards Huggins. Tries to beat her high right side there. Going for the blocker of Huggins.
Hustling for it, but unable to beat it was Hannah Perrier. Like you said for Cheknita, great job not to take her time with it. Didn't try and outweight the defender. It's just going to be a matter of shots on goal at this point. Can you get a lucky bounce? Can you get a rebound opportunity? It's going to take some sustained pressure.
Yeah, and only 2 shots on goal for this Griffins team in that first period. Going to need to get more volume in this second period. And as well, added to that, this Griffins team looking for their first game with more than 2 goals. And they're going to need it here if they want to beat this UBC team.
1-0 and 3-1 losses to start the year. Down 2-0 here as Rhodes can't make the zone. A couple players blow a tire, but the Griffins are able to get it out. Here's Morris. Hot on her heels. Jalen Morris gets the step. Gets up to Thorpe, and she's off for a change. Thorpe loses her stick. Can't do much without that. She's going to go to pick it up. And here's Isley. Looking to make amends. Took that penalty in the first period that led to the Grace Elliott power play tally. Curry calmly blocks that one aside. Just over 6 minutes gone here in the second period. Griffins doing a better job of preventing UBC from getting into the zone and establishing position. They've made the defensive adjustments, but can they get their offense to follow suit?
Yeah, definitely looking much cleaner in this second period, not running around as much as well in the defensive zone. But yeah, it is just the question is, can they match this offense of UBC? And it's going to need to start quickly.
Schaefer walks out front. Fanned on that as Elliott was sniffing for the puck. Santos bats it back. Carmen steadily gets it up to Elliott. Can't quite corral it. Here's Schaefer hunting for it, trying to find Wong. She's right on it. Back to Schaefer, the Swiss national team alum. Over to Carmen. Intentionally wide, almost comes in front, and here's Wong. UBC still with it. Elliott was looking for Wong, and here come the Griffins. Here's Santos. Dump and chase to herself. Carmen knows how to thwart that. But Zinger's got to be careful in the corner. Santos, great forecheck. A lot of hustle from Santos. That's going to... No, called off. Here's Elliott. Grace Elliott playing a two-way game here tonight. Healy. One-time opportunity. Great kick save. Taya Curry. Point blank. Shot out of a cannon. Was able to deflect that away.
Yeah, right off the bench there was Buckley, and a great feed from Healy. And yeah, even better save there from Taya Curry, kicking out the right leg.
Healy trying to get it over center ice. Baird out there with Sandilands. Here's Baird. Buckley's out there too. Sandilands, Buckley, Baird. Centering in front. Curry kicking that one aside, as well as the shot total for UBC just slowly climbing here. Sandilands and Perrier in deep. Weeb's waiting for it. Things getting a little bit chippy in the corners. They're trying to get it out. Officials letting him play on. Might be an impending whistle here, depending if the scramble ensues, but it comes out. Here comes MacEwan. Dumped into Huggins. He's going to let that one down. Midway mark of the second period, like we said. A little bit less fluid for UBC here, as that one might draw a whistle. Indeed it does. That offhand came off. Could have been a dangerous partial break opportunity As MacEwan a little bit too aggressive on the body, and UBC is going to go to the power play for the first time in this second period.
It's actually going to be it's Wiebe that's getting the head contact penalty.
That might have been a 50-50 one.
Yeah.
I thought UBC on the offensive possession, she just got stood up at the blue line.
Yeah, and the way this game has gone between these two teams, a lot of physicality, a lot of rubbing one another out, a lot of defenders stepping into the forechecking lane and whatnot, but yeah, the official deeming that one to be a penalty on Madison Wiebe there.
The ruling head contact charged against Madison Wiebe. Second penalty taken by UBC in the second period. Already surpassing their shot totals of the first period. Just 2 in the first period, 3 in the second for MacEwan. They get it off the boards, get an opportunity in front. I was trying to keep that in, but here's Fleming as she's just wiped out. And that's going to bring the whistle that UBC was looking for. You can see the T-Birds bench. And you know what? Who had a front row view to that one was Madison Wiebe. Saw it the entire way. And for the Griffins, that's going to send number 20 Hopkins for 2 minutes, wiping out Fleming as the odd man rush was just breaking out.
Yeah, Shaylin Hopkins just playing the body there, and yeah, it's something we've seen throughout this game, and now the officials starting to call it a little bit as, yeah, you mentioned you don't want to get it out of hand. You don't want to be making a ton of trips to the box, but you do want to play rough and tough and hard against one another.
Rhodes, she has Schaefer in front. Carmen at the point. Thorpe steered aside by Curry. Busiest skater on the ice tonight, Taya Curry, keeping her team in it with an impressive second period after allowing 2 goals in the first period. 2 minutes charged to Shaylin Hopkins for interference. As Madison Wiebe anxiously waits to get back out there. Four on four for a little bit longer. Ashton Thorpe loses her stick. Lots of open ice right there. Can UBC get a breakout? Short's on the far side. She's looking for it. Here's Short. Thrown on net. Blocked in front as that one whipped back in front. Not sure how that stayed out. I thought that might have deflected potentially dangerously off of Huygens, and indeed right on the goal line as it comes off her pad. And that's what it's going to take for these MacEwan Griffins. It's not going to be pretty. Got to find a way to score ugly, and that's exactly the type of goal they're looking for.
Yeah, I need to get that puck in and around the crease of Huygens, and did that right there, as you mentioned. Robin Short on that weak side, flipped the momentum on to the other side of the ice, and able to get didn't get a shot on net as that one was battered down, but got that puck around Huygens, but need to try and hammer that one home.
Great back check from MacEwan. As receiving that up by his feet was Madison Wiebe. Here's Elliott. It's a 5-on-4 for 26 seconds. Long. Right back to the point. Shot wide off the stick of Morris. 10 seconds left in the power play. Elliott's got it. Back to her blue line, Morris. Power play's expiring here. Jalen Morris and Taya Curry. No rebound. Indeed it goes, though. That one goes right into the net. That's going to count. Jalen Morris fires it, I believe, off the side of the pad of Curry. Might have deflected in. Bodies were swarming in front. Frenetic moments here for UBC. It's 3-0.
Yeah, a bit of a delayed response there from UBC as Jalen Morris on the power play fires that one as time expired. And you see the captain, Sidney Olsen, trying to get an explanation from the official there, as I think all the Griffins thinking that one was covered up by Curry. Well, that one possibly squeaking through and getting over the goal line before the official blew her whistle and signaling for that one to be a goal, as you see now both captains in that discussion there. But by all accounts, it seems to be a Jalen Morris goal, her 5th of the season, if that is what the officials put it down as. Not sure if it maybe hit a stick or two. That looked pretty clean through the shot lane there, and maybe just squeaking past Curry. Not sure if anyone hammered it home or whatnot, but so far it's 3-0 UBC.
Credit to Morris for the goal. Curry definitely got a piece on it. Assists going to Kaylee Pepler and Grace Elliott, now up to a 2-point game. As Elliott, I believe that's her 4th assist of the season. And still talking it over.
Yeah, and that one happening just before the penalty expired there. So this UBC team now 2 for 3 on the power play, starting to get it going. As we've talked about, this team struggles on the power play, and maybe the inability to run away with some games and build some leads on some teams. They haven't been able to get the production from the power play, but today it is really clicking, as this seems to be a pretty lengthy discussion between the officials, now talking to Grant MacEwan head coach Chris Leeming.
Entering tonight, UBC with the 2nd most power play opportunities in all of Canada West, with the 2nd worst percentage at converting on those. But tonight, riding the ship and showing how prolific their offense can be. You look at that shot differential, plus 17 in favor of UBC. A lot of that coming on those 2 power play opportunities. And Jalen Morris had such a hot start to this season, one of those multi-goal games. Really helping this T-Bird squad get on the right foot. A little bit quiet over the past 5-game stretch, but not who you want to have time and space to think about in the slot, as she was just able to find the seam and wrist that one past Curry.
Yeah, made a great little move there. Changed the lane with a little shimmy shake on the blue line there. And yeah, was able to find a lane towards Taya Curry, and yes, has a really good hard shot, able to find those lanes, keep it low so it's not hitting too many bodies and getting through some of those shin pads. And yeah, what we mentioned, maybe, yeah, this kind of the slow point production, but really is the piece for this UBC defense that they really kind of mold it around. And yeah, she's their number one there on the back end, and it stands as a good goal after some lengthy discussion there. It is 3-0 UBC.
Jalen Morris, a cornerstone for this UBC team, just in her 3rd year out of Maple Ridge. And here come the T-Birds again. Bursting right back in is Hannah Perrier. That one up against the boards is going to spill out for the Griffins. It's not impossible at this point. Still about 26 minutes left of hockey. The Sandiland steers that wide. Got to try and get on the board here as the 2nd period starts to inch towards a close. They'll have a chance to do so as that one's called icing. Going to go back the other way for these Griffins. They haven't really been able to set up that box format, being able to cycle it around. And obviously here, with just a couple minutes left in the 2nd period, you look, send a couple forwards in front of the crease, try and get some traffic. They've been mixing it up a little bit with the aggressive stuff, But right now it's just pucks on net, try and get a tip, try and get a deflection.
And they've seemed to just fall into this cycle of, UBC having it in their zone for a long period of time, and then just have to make a change on the offensive attack. Only have one, maybe two players in the offensive zone attacking on either that dump or the offensive rush. So just aren't able to get those numbers going the other way consistently. And then that also enables UBC to break out of their zone fairly easily with not a lot of pressure on the forecheck.
Dangerous play as Buckley and Baird were going towards the crease. And here's Healy trying to cut back in front. Thunderbirds all over that puck. This trio of fifth years trying to do some damage. Barely gets out. In preseason, reading some of the media coverage with head coach Chris Leeming for this MacEwan squad, he was talking about the importance of playing a full 200-foot game. They can get stuck in their defensive zone at times, like you said, and right now just makes it harder because by the time they gain possession, they already have tired legs and can't really set up an offense.
And really, up until this point in this second period, the shots were fairly even between the two squads. The shots were about 4-3 up until that power play. So it was back and forth between these two teams. The Griffins were able to hold their own and get some looks towards Huggins, but just the volume of it has not been there for this Griffins team, and they're going to need some of that with about 24 and a half minutes left to play in this game.
UBC very much sitting in the driver's seat right now. Partial 2-on-1 opportunity right here. Can the Griffins get it going? Steered aside by Huggins. Had to be ready for that. She'd been sitting for a little while between shots. At least Huggins able to kick that one out.
Yeah, dangerous opportunity there for the Griffins. As Isley had Pepler all over her on that left side, and a strong, hard shot at the low glove. Huggins able to get a piece of that and deflect it wide.
Like we said pregame, Huggins currently sitting at 63 Canada West wins. Just 1 period and 4 minutes away from getting that 64th win to tie Stacey Corfield from Manitoba, who currently sits alone with that Canada West record. Here's Elliott. Backhand on net. Curry doing her all to keep her team in it. Tough night at the office for her. She's done her best. Pouncing on that one, going to be a face-off in the offensive zone for UBC.
Yeah, and in the first matchup, Taya Curry seeing 23 shots on goal from this UBC team. So this Thunderbird squad already beating that total in the game that Curry faced them. It was 1 goal allowed in that tight 1-0 loss for the Griffins.
Schaefer recovers the draw back to Lorenz. She's got some space. Lorenz, dangerous shot. Really like the steadiness in her game. Here's Elliott. Lorenz and Church, the rookie D pairing, showing Graham Thomas how crucial they can be as a huge part of this recruiting class. Schaefer, puck on a string. Look at her go. Vanessa Schaefer, can she get it off? Finds it to Lorenz. And that just goes over the top of the net, but Vanessa Schaefer looking to end up on TSN as here comes Santos. Santos, wrist shot, glove down by Huggins. Calm, cool, and collected Elise Huggins, as she has been her entire Canada West career.
Yeah, some great chances on both sides, as you mentioned it. Vanessa Schaefer showing the skills, showing the hands. Dipsy doodling around the dot there and unable to get the shot off. And you said Lorenz trying to put that one home, and then Santos on the other end.
Perrier looking for the pass. It was almost like a bit of a pass shot, if you will. thought about it at the very last second, decided to fire it on net. As that one, dangerous clapper off the stick. Was coming in was Mullen. Huggins didn't quite knew where it went. Nod's going to get called. Breaking into the zone was UBC. As telltale a penalty as you'll ever see. When those Thunderbirds get a couple strides and they dump and chase, tough to keep them down.
Yeah, when they use their speed, they're able to draw a ton of penalties, and Hopkins' second penalty of the game comes at the end of the second period here, so UBC with an opportunity to extend their lead and make it 4 here.
As we look at the stats here, I guess Morris, it's interesting how they're calling it, because they're saying Annalise Wong unassisted, but if she was tapping in a rebound off the wrister from Morris, not sure how that could be. We'll have to talk about it, obviously, at the intermission.
Yeah, we'll have to clarify that one. But yeah, it was pretty jumbled in the crease there on that Morris goal, as UBC go back to work on the power play, looking for their third power play goal of the game.
Here's Elliott. That's going to get called just offside. UBC a perfect 2 for 2 on the power play.
And it really was for the Griffins a push of momentum there a little bit for them, as they had a great shot from Mullen, as well a great rush from Santos. Some good shots at Huggins, who was definitely tested there a couple times, but now having to kill off a big penalty here to kind of try and keep this lead, try to keep this lead at 3 here for UBC heading into the break.
Cross ice, there's Healy. Going to leave it for Thorpe. UBC less than a minute left in this power play, just over a minute left in this second period. Healy's open on that side, but Thorpe slides it back over. Griffins are going to get it out. Lise Huggins, her goals against average just .6 heading into tonight. As coming in, here comes the Griffins, and they're going to fire it. Wristing that one. All alone in front was Patterson. A complacent defensive play, and that's going to be a shorthanded strike for the MacEwan Griffins off the stick of Patterson. And don't look now, but MacEwan back in it.
And just like that, a mistake from Ashton Thorpe, and Corey Patterson jumps all over that one for her second of the season. A huge turnover there turns into a huge shorthanded goal for the Griffins. And their first shorthanded goal of the season comes at a big time here at the end of the second period. It looked like maybe UBC was looking to extend their lead to 4 or keep it at 3 heading into the second period here, but the Griffins able to cut into that lead. A huge shorthanded goal for Patterson, now 3-1 UBC.
And you can see the life here from the Griffins, quickly wristing that one out. A storyline to watch, and you know that's the type of goal and the type of turnover that's going to be bulletin board material for this UBC team. Ashton Thorpe giving it up, and Corey Patterson, impressive job, almost flat-legged, didn't have a lot of speed, but just fired it far side past the blocker of Elise Huggins.
Yeah, cut that angle off, able to stay with that puck, stay on her feet, and a great shot to beat Elise Huggins. As it really just takes one for this Griffins team to get back into this game, get some life, get some juice on that bench. And late in the second period here, the dressing room is going to be buzzing a little bit more now in this intermission, and they'll be ready to come out in this third, try to take it to this UBC team. It only takes one for a team to get going here, and the Griffins got theirs.
Carmen just trying to waste the last few seconds of this second period. But you can already see the different disposition of this MacEwan team. It's going to be a fun third period, Andrew. Corey Patterson and co, Santos, Mullen, all putting in a little bit of work in the last 5 minutes of that second period.
Yeah, it was definitely a slow progression for this Griffins team throughout that second period, as you know, a couple penalties here and there kind of kills the flow of your 5-on-5 play, but I think that's the way that this Griffins team is going to have to take it to this UBC Thunderbird squad, as they had it going in the later half of that second period, but need to continue to get more shots, as we saw some good shots there from the Griffins. And on the other side, UBC are going to have to bear down in this third period and close this thing out, as we've seen them do many times throughout this season.
Corey Patterson unassisted with just over a minute left in the second period. The MacEwan Griffins on the comeback trail here at Doug Mitchell Thunderbird Sports Center. Andrew Lote on the call alongside Andrew Savory. We'll see you shortly. It's closing time here on a Friday night. We have a thrilling third period finish coming up on Canada West TV. We'll see you shortly.
For 60 years, this game has defined Canadian university football. A tradition rooted in heart, grit, and pride. This year, the Vanier Cup returns to the West, to the heartland of football. Regina is ready. Let's show them how we do football. More than a game, it's tradition.
Welcome UBC to Homecoming 2025! Let's get stuck in!
UBC Thunderbirds! Let's go! Let's go!
David Jordan fakes a handoff. David Jordan spills the ball. It's picked up. We could have a scoop and score, but tackled on the 1 yard line. Viato's going to sneak it. He's in. Touchdown, Thunderbirds. Drew Viato with the 2 yard touchdown plunge. UBC jumps out to a 6-0 lead. So Viato takes the snap. This time, handoff. Ayadegbe, nice run by Ayadegbe. He's got some space. He finds a sideline. Ayadegbe takes this one all the way down inside the Calgary 10-yard line. So Viato in the shotgun for the Birds. Ayadegbe in the backfield with him. They're going to go to Ayadegbe again. He's pushing his way. He's getting close. Touchdown! House call. Tolu Ayadegbe. UBC has tied this one up at 13. Jordan takes a snap, drops back. Here comes a pass rush. That's a big sack by MacEwan Griffins. 3rd and goal. Huge play here for UBC. Ayadegbe, he's going to lunge forward. Did he get in? He did! Touchdown, Toilu Ayadegbe! 2 minutes, 11 seconds left. UBC down by 2, and Lannery Fleck is going to kick this one off, and there's no one over on that side of the field, and it gets by Lupel, and he's going to be tackled. I think he fell on that ball, but it's going to be all the way down on the Calgary 1 yard line. UBC defense called on here. Jordan. Oh, finds a tie, it's picked off! That pass is picked off! Number 38, Darian Brown, continues to sprinkle his stardust all over homecoming at Thunderbird Stadium. Lannery Fleck lines this one up from 17 yards. Nice work by Engel to bring the snap down. It is up and it is good. UBC with a 1-point lead. 3.2 seconds left on the clock. Vince Triambari is going to come on the field for the Dinos and look to send the UBC Thunderbirds to the Heartbreak Hotel. He's going to line this one up from about the 39-yard line. The snap is there, the kick is up, and it is wide! It's wide right! UBC is going to run this one out of the end zone, and UBC is going to win the game. What a game of football! UBC with the huge homecoming victory. Listen to this crowd. Pandemonium at Thunderbird Stadium.
For 60 years, this game has defined Canadian university football. A tradition rooted in heart, grit, and pride. This year, the Vanier Cup returns to the West, to the heartland of football. Regina is ready. Let's show them how we do football. More than a game, it's tradition.
Second intermission coming to a close here at Doug Mitchell Thunderbird Sports Center. Andrew Lowe on the call alongside Andrew Savory. And it's been a fun one, Andrew, here tonight. A shorty, courtesy of Corey Patterson, giving some late life to the MacEwan Griffins. And all of a sudden, that last 60 seconds of play, a totally different group for those MacEwan Griffins after that shorthanded tally.
Yeah, that was a huge goal for this Griffins team to head into this third period. Only down 2 now. Some say the worst lead in hockey, and it's going to be sets up for what should be an exciting third period between these two teams. Yeah, you got the Thunderbirds, who have really struggled kind of putting teams away, especially kind of these pesky defensive teams, and the Griffins are going to be looking for a huge 11th win, and the Griffins are going to be trying to come back in this third period and kind of upset this UBC team on what would be a huge win on this Friday night.
And speaking of Friday night, we'll take you around Canada West, starting with Mount Royal, pulling off the win against Regina 3-1. And then one that we love to keep tabs on, obviously we're talking about the Winter Classic coming up. A team that's really risen in Canada West, Trinity Western, falling in overtime 3-2 to Calgary. What have you liked about this Trinity team? We called that game together earlier this year, narrowly falling to Calgary, but they're a really tough team to match up against.
Yeah, a huge win for Calgary there as they continue their hot start in the Canada West season. And yeah, doing UBC some favors as this Trinity Western team, a very potent offense. We've seen them, matching their goal totals with UBC throughout this season so far, and we really haven't seen any team do that the past couple years against this UBC squad. So kind of mixing, they've had some great defense and goaltending over the past couple years, but mixing in that offense, that's really, I find, what kind of makes these programs stand out in the Canada West is that potent offense that they can bring, and I think that is what Trinity Western is bringing to this Canada West season and this West Division, making it a tough battle for UBC.
The head coach, Peter Hay, Trinity actually was up 2-1 in that game, courtesy of goals from Keir McDonald and Jordan Matthews, but it was Sidney Mercier with the last 2 goals of the game, including the winner in OT, to really allow Calgary to come back. But for tonight, we're here at Doug Mitchell. It's around the horn for Canada West Friday night action, and right now, front and center for the MacEwan Griffins on the comeback trail against UBC. Got a little bit lackadaisical at the end of the second period, but for the Griffins, only 20 minutes to work with. They have to strike now, and they have to strike first. Here's Santos. Santos, that one right back in front. MacEwan threatening already here in the third period.
Yeah, juicy rebound there for either Mullen or Patterson to jump on, but unable to do so. And you said it, if the Griffins able to get that second goal here, cut this lead to 1, would really make things uncomfortable for this UBC team. Oh yeah, cannot take their foot off the gas against this Griffins team. They are going to be coming hard for 19 minutes here. Shots 33-12. It's lopsided for UBC, but it's really not about volume. We find against this UBC team need to just get shots on net.
Santos wide open in front. Another juicy rebound. This line really firing on all cylinders for these Griffins.
And exactly the start that you want if you're head coach Chris Leeming. Get out on the front foot, get some pressure on this UBC team, and make them respond to you in the third period.
Griffins doing an admirable job in UBC, unable to even break out of their zone and gain possession. Expect the physicality as this game gets a little bit more tight checking. Griffins didn't convert on any of their 3 power play opportunities, but wouldn't they love to get to the extra attack? Isley flips that one in. Follows her dump in. Huggins has to cover it. Multiple face-offs in the offensive zone early in the third period for these Griffins. This was the game plan coming out of intermission.
Yeah, most definitely. Just put as much pressure as you can on this UBC team. And we said it in the second period, it just takes 1 to get things going. We see it already from this Griffins team. Just get more and more pucks around Huggins' net.
Centering ice feed doesn't go. UBC quite can't control. MacEwan. Turning up the intensity a little bit as the Thunderbirds have to respond. They've taken that body shot and they get back in, and here's Sandilands. Stripped. For MacEwan, the goal for them, can they get 1 before the 10-minute mark of this third period? Something to build upon. So all of a sudden that 2-goal lead is just going to feel bigger and bigger. Wide open in the slot. Didn't quite make it there, is barreling her way to the crease. Mia Baird looking for her second of the night. Curry. Ready for that one, considering she's faced 33 shots tonight. Only allowed 3 past her. Doing a pretty darn good, stopping 30 out of 33 shots. Taya Curry. Carmen. Thinks better of it. Over to Zinger. Has to play it quick up to Wong. Schaefer alone on the forecheck. Elliott steals that one. She has Wong lurking. To Schaefer. All over her. Elliott calling for the one-timer back to Wong. Church. Spinorama down to Elliott. Off a leg, bounced around. UBC, best possession of the third period. Elliott's got some space. She's thinking about it, back to Wong. Schaefer taken to the boards, and Elliott's not going to let that puck get out. Quickly back to the point, tipped down in front. Elliott has it. Grace Elliott, time, space. Blocked aside by Taya Curry. A crucial stop, nursing a 2-goal lead.
And this line doing exactly what head coach Graham Thomas put them out there to do.
Annalise Wong clearly watching Vanessa Schaefer in the second period. Almost had a highlight of her own. These Griffins haven't been able to clear the zone. Looks like they should be able to do so here. And here comes MacEwan. Blocked down. Trying to get back to the front of the net was Malenfant.
And a good job there by Malenfant to try and keep possession there as her line mates changed and was able to keep the puck with the Griffins as they try to regroup.
Official's arm's going to go up. Shaylin Morris wants to talk about it. Coming to the defense of her teammate, and that's not what Grant MacEwan was looking for. The Griffins, such a strong start to the third period, carrying the momentum, and all of a sudden one of their most energetic, dynamic forwards here tonight, Mullen, is going to head to the box for 2 minutes.
Yeah, and it has been rough between these two teams. Another penalty here, as UBC have been great on the power play so far today. 2 for 3 on their opportunities. And not what you need if you're the Griffins, giving this UBC power play another opportunity to extend their lead.
Elliott, tough angle wrister, right into the chest of Curry. Elliott, Wong, Morris, Zinger. Out in the draw is Schaefer. Looking to put this one to bed. They've let Grant MacEwan back into it. It was a tough turnover committed by Ashton Thorpe at the end of the second. One more would really bring some insurance for this group. Kept alive back to the point. Morris already has one tonight. Zinger, the rookie alongside Morris, the third year. Down to Wong. Elliott not quite set for that one. Grace Elliott looking for a rebound, collects it herself. Grace Elliott circumnavigating the zone. Trying to go short side. Wong. Back to Morris. Elliott. Cross ice to Zinger. Tons of pressure from UBC. Tense moments. Griffins trying to hang on. Morris looking for a tip. That's back in front, batted around. MacEwan's going to get it out. UBC doing everything on this power play except finishing the job.
Yeah, very strong power play there. Lots of good puck movement. But yeah, unable to find a clear lane towards Taya Curry. And so far, so good for the Grant MacEwan penalty killers, who, yeah, needed a huge penalty kill from their unit.
Quickly there was Rhodes. Power play is going to expire as Hugan slaps the stick. Mullen going to be back on the ice in a second. Back to 5-on-5 we go. Hunting for the goal was Fleming. That one tipped aside. MacEwan, can they get that pressure back? As Isley back out of the box. Excuse me, Mullen. Perrier leaves it for Rhodes. Getting close to the halfway mark at this third period. MacEwan came out with a sense of urgency to start the third, but time not on their side.
And we haven't had an even strength goal in this game so far. 2 power play goals, 2 short-handed goals.
As Mia Baird, there's the first even strength goal. You teed it up. Mia Baird fired it home. Her second of the night. What a tally going top shelf. Mia Baird with a snipe and some insurance for good measure.
Yeah, her third of the season, second of the game is a beauty. Popping the water bottle there on a great snipe. Top left corner on a great feed from her line mate there. finishing off a great play, and UBC extends their lead to 3 now. Mia Baird with 3 goals in 2 weekends. Really getting her game going. You mentioned this line of Buckley, Healy, and Baird have really looked strong so far in this game, and last weekend as well, able to get some production. And the depth of this UBC lineup really come into play here today as Mia Baird gets her 2nd of the game. UBC's 4th, up 4-1 now.
As deflating a goal as they'll come, just as MacEwan was resurgent, putting upon some pressure on these T-Birds. Mia Baird took that feed and fired it home, and after that second goal of the game from Grace Elliott was a little bit disputed. It was in and out so fast. She had no doubt about that one.
Yeah, and it was really this UBC team getting it started with that line of Elliott, Wong, and Schaefer after Grant MacEwan coming out firing in this 3rd period. Looked like they were ready for a comeback on this UBC team. But head coach Graham Thomas putting his veteran line out there, his top line out there to settle things down, calm his team down, get some offensive pressure going, led to that power play opportunity. UBC flipping that momentum and then using it to get a goal and extend their lead here.
Look at Sandilands keeping that play alive. Kepler's out there as well. Blocked in front for MacEwan. It's going to take a miracle right now. Wouldn't quite call it insurmountable, but with UBC constantly in the attack, time truly starting to run out. Tapped around. Almost 40 shots tonight here for these Thunderbirds. Taya Curry incredibly busy, and despite allowing 4, not really anything she could have done about any of those goals.
Yeah, a lot of really good offensive efforts from this UBC team, and their first 2 games, 23 and 33 shots on goal in those first 2 matchups for this UBC team, so surpassing both those tallies here tonight. And UBC, such a strong team at home as well. Love playing here at the Doug. And you can see how confident and comfortable they feel playing here. And now 39 shots on Taya Curry, who, has been super solid for her team in net today.
Taya Curry splitting tandem duties, of course, with Lindsay Johnson. We'll see if we get a look at Johnson tomorrow night, as that one just tipped wide off the stick of Elliott. These teams are going to match up again, and for Grant MacEwan, they can't pull off the comeback here tonight, and they come out firing tomorrow, learning some of the habits they were able to exhibit here early in the 3rd and towards the tail end of the 2nd.
Yeah, and as well make some game plan changes, change up some strategies heading into tomorrow's matchup, as we've seen this Griffins team able to come back on Saturday and give whoever they're playing a really good fight and a really good battle, as we've seen them split some big matchups between Trinity Western and Calgary, and took Mount Royal to a shootout as well in that 2nd matchup. So this Griffins team able to respond quite well. Head coach, and credit to head coach Chris Lehman, getting his group ready for that 2nd matchup. Extremely tough to play 2 games in less than 24 hours. And especially with this Griffins team who hasn't had their bye yet in the first half so far. That'll come on the 28th for them. So it's been a long stretch of hockey for this Griffins team. But they are resilient, and they'll come back ready tomorrow and learning from today.
Mia Baird, like we said, getting her 3rd of the season, 2nd tonight. Assists going to Audrey Church and Maya Healy. Audrey Church, the rookie, one of those commendable rookies alongside Lorenz and Zinger. First recorded assist of her U Sports career. Is that one alone in front? Taya Curry, wide open in the slot was Fleming. Curry sprawled out, spread eagle, and then again steering it aside. How good has Taya Curry been here tonight?
Yeah, extremely, extremely solid Great quick reaction saves, great side-to-side movement. And able to deal with some of those really good hard shots, as you see right there. Kaylee Pepler, ooh, she's had a quietly great game for UBC today. 2 assists so far on the game, and a good hard shot there. But yeah, Taya Curry seeing that all the way into the glove. But yeah, just the volume of shots, the volume of opportunities for this UBC team, just too much to overcome for this Griffins defense and Taya Curry. 42 shots on goal.
That's what makes it so difficult to match up against UBC. They can score goals in so many ways, from the point, off one-time opportunities. They can also mix it up and get scrappy with some tip-ins and some rebounds. Big part of why they're up 4-1 right now. For the Griffins, just trying to show some late life. Just over 6 minutes left in this one, and for the Griffins, can they get one back? Something to build upon heading into tomorrow night. The lone goal from Corey Patterson, her second of the season.
And it was almost as if maybe the Griffins needing it to come a bit earlier in the period, as you know, you get the goal, you get some momentum going your way, you get into the intermission and get reset and resettled and everything, come out strong in the third period, but just don't have, you know, enough really in the third period, enough time to kind of get enough momentum as UBC able to respond and have a long period of time here in the third period to get settled in.
Sandilands taking a bit of a shoulder, indeed, a little bit too much contact. Sandilands drawing the penalty. And for UBC, a chance to add another tally. They've struck twice in the power play, looking for their third if they can convert on this upcoming 2-minute penalty taken by Corey Patterson.
And Patterson just knocking Sandilands down there. The officials calling that one. As yeah, it'll make the physicality will really make for an interesting game 2 here tomorrow, as head coach Chris Lehman pretty beside himself there at the call from the official. As yeah, it's we've seen quite a few of those here throughout this game, most of them not called, but the officials have been calling it both ways. A lot of penalties both sides so far, but it's also been pretty physical between these two teams.
Morris in the slot. That one wristed down. She keeps it alive. Great hand-eye coordination, Jalen Morris. She's got it back, looking for her second of the night to Elliott. Fans on it for a moment. Morris is going to try and pinch. Zinger, last defender back, has to reset. Presley Zinger, 3-on-2. Over to Elliott. Still alive for Grace Elliott. Tight passes here for UBC. A minute left in this power play. Off a skate wide. Still the same 5 for UBC. Morris walks in, fires. That one goes right in, tipped in front. Looks like off the stick of Grace Elliott, but you know what? The camaraderie of this group pointing at each other. Did you get that? Looks like it is, as Grace Elliott leads the rush up to 63 goals for her Canada West career. Not satisfied with leading the program, padding her stats.
And quite clearly that one tipped, but possibly from a Griffins defender, but no, that one from Grace Elliott in front. The hard shot from Jalen Morris. Elliott tipping that one down, getting her second of the game, 12th of the season. And UBC just continuing to flex their muscles here in this game. Another power play goal here. And man, after a lot of not good power play opportunities and chances, now 3 for 4 here today almost matching their total on the season in this one game. So the power play, you know, we talked about maybe the one blemish on this UBC team's record, has really looked like it's begun to click here in this game.
And so many different contributions tonight. Goals from your fourth line, goals from your first line, goals from your defense. Huggins just going to catch that one. Face off to the right of Huggins. But with Jalen Morris, just a case study to watch. Walks the line, inches in a little bit. So good at not shooting to score, but shooting for tipping, shooting for rebounds. And Grace Elliott doing a good job of deflecting that one in.
Yeah, Elliott and Morris, both their third point of the game, continuing to, just make their mark here and just show that they are really the class of the Canada West here on the front end, on the back end, two of the best. And yeah, it's going to be something to watch throughout this season. How far can these two take this UBC team? How much can they produce?
MacEwan, less than 3 minutes here. Wheels kind of came off here in the third period as that one, tons of contact, going to bring an arm, as hitting the deck was Cassidy Rhodes. Multiple penalties taken by Grant MacEwan as Elliott's the extra attacker. UBC hunting for more. Pepler tipped down in front. 6-on-5. Caught in front by Curry. Swallows on it. Shots 45-17. As MacEwan going to have to kill off one more power play opportunity for UBC, who's been torrid their best special teams game of the season.
Yeah, and it's Patterson once again, the assistant captain, just trying to send a message to this UBC team heading into tomorrow. But yeah, it'll be another opportunity here for UBC to capitalize on their power play, continue that momentum.
Familiar unit, Morris, Zinger, you said it, that momentum really building. Tons of time and space. Here's Morris. Could you do it again? Jalen Morris blocked aside by Taya Curry. If you're an aspiring defender, take note of Jalen Morris as she fans on it for a second. Wong fights to keep it alive. Somehow stays in. Annalise Wong down to Elliott. Back in front. Annalise Wong trying to get a stick, but MacEwan's going to clear. Hunting for their sixth of the game is UBC.
And Mia Baird out there on hat trick watch. Head coach Graham Thomas putting her out there on that first unit.
Can they find Mia Baird? Swatted down at the blue line. Nearly out. UBC. Minute left with the extra attacker. In front to nobody. It's going to go all the way back to Ashton Thorpe. Just over a minute left in this one here tonight, folks. You can join us again tomorrow at 3 p.m. on Canada West TV for the rematch between these Griffins and UBC Thunderbirds, who are going to improve to 11-0 on the Canada West campaign, and the Griffins going to suffer their 9th loss of the season.
And it really just shows why this UBC team is number one in U Sports for 5 consecutive weeks, continuing to show how good they are up and down the lineup.
Puck scrambling around. Mia Baird looking for it. Taya Curry was on her backside. Not sure Baird saw it. That one might have been out. Looks like it's going to stay in, though. UBC with tons of pressure as Mia Baird sniffing for the Hattie.
And just a bit tired there as she tried to turn and fire that one. Mia Baird been out there for a couple minutes now. You can see hands on knees trying to find the hat trick goal there. You can see the reaction from the bench, and they're telling her to stay out, finish this one.
Gotta love it, this tight-knit group. Mia Baird, like you said, Part of that trio of fifth years on that fourth line, but make no mistake, not your typical fourth line. Head coach Graham Thomas can cycle through this lineup, interchange it on the power play as Baird collects to Church. One more opportunity. MacEwan's having none of it. As time's going to expire, 46 shots on goal, 5 of them get past Taya Curry, who stood on her head for most of the night. Deserves at least one of our 3 stars for the game. Taya Curry, who really did her best, but too much offense and firepower for UBC, and 2 big goals from Grace Elliott and 2 big goals from Mia Baird.
Yeah, it was a full group effort up and down the lineup from this UBC team. A mix of offense, defense, and goaltending. And Elise Huygens now ties the all-time Canada West wins record at 64. A huge win for her, and she'll be looking to break that record in her next outing. Will be maybe a tough decision for head coach Graham Thomas tomorrow, as it's been a true 50-50 split between her and Lucifora. But no doubt in my mind that we'll get a feisty battle between these 2 teams tomorrow. 49 shots on goal is the final total for UBC, almost at that 50 mark. In what was a full 60 minutes from this UBC lineup after last week's struggles against Manitoba to get a full game going up and down the lineup. Able to come out here against a tough, pesky, hungry Griffins team and get the job done, get their 11th straight win of the season.
And for UBC, I think a big thing that stuck out, you talk about it, one of their negative calling cards earlier this year is that complacent second period, but really weathered the storm, allowed that 1 goal, the tough turnover, but a much tighter checking game for UBC overall.
Yeah, most definitely. And yeah, in the defensive zone, looked really calm and composed, able to break out with speed and get that puck turning the other way. And man, it is impressive what this team can do when they're able to score on the power play. A huge talking point for this UBC team coming into this weekend over the past couple weekends. And man, oh man, it was finally clicking for this UBC squad.
For the MacEwan Griffins, the lone goal off the stick, shorthanded from Corey Patterson. A couple bright spots. We saw some good rushes from Patterson, Santos, Mullen. But they're going to need a little bit more tomorrow night. Keys to the game for MacEwan with a bounce-back opportunity.
Yeah, they got to just bring that type of energy that they came out with here in the third period. You saw some great plays from Ryan Santos. Really had some spunk there in the third period to start things. Corey Patterson as well, playing with tenacity. It's just the little kind of, playing with some attitude against this UBC team. I think it's going to be a big piece of this Griffins squad coming out tomorrow. And as well, just need to continue to play that good, strong defensive game. They had UBC kind of neutralized a little bit in that second period, but ultimately that UBC able to find ways to win this game.
UBC takes the first of 2 this weekend. Join us tomorrow evening, 3 p.m. puck drop here at Doug Mitchell Thunderbird Sports Center. The MacEwan Griffins looking to bounce back. Can they strike first? Can they strike early? You'll have to join us to find out tomorrow. For Andrew Lote, for everyone up in the booth, I'm Andrew Savory. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll catch you tomorrow evening. Thanks so much, folks.